can't prevent accidents, they just happen.
There must be some way to prevent accidents.
No, it's no use.
Today we're going to be looking at the main verse behind Eyes in Eternity, Colossians 3:1-3. Every day we're getting messages from hundreds of different voices, family, friends, and the media, which is not only on our screens, but also in our pockets on our mobile devices. And as a follower of Jesus, his voice is the one I want to hear the loudest. This verse is a helpful reminder that I don't have to store up all my hope in life here on earth. In the midst of life's struggles and tragedies, I can hold on to God's promises of a bright future.
Colossians chapter 3. Living the new life. Since you have been raised to new life with Christ, set your sights on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. For you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Christ in God.
Now this comes from the book of Colossians. The book of Colossians is an interesting book. It was written from Rome during Paul's first imprisonment. He also wrote Ephesians and Philemon around the same time. That was about 60 AD. The city of Colossae was in the Lycus Valley. It's about 100 miles east of Ephesus in Asia Minor. Now the circumstances which prompted this writing seems to be a special heresy that was arising around that time in the area, which later developed into Gnosticism. One thing you can do to help memorize this is to write it down or print it out, then carry it with you through the day or post it somewhere you look fairly often, or break it into lines. Since you've been raised to new life with Christ. Since you've been raised to new life with Christ, set your sights on the realities of heaven. Set your sights on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Now, verse 1 has several parts to it, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But if you think about it, it's talking about raising your eyes, looking up. Since you've been raised to new life with Christ, set your sights on the realities of heaven. So you're looking to heaven, and then where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand, you're looking up to see Christ and to see him in his place of glory. Think about the things of heaven. Think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. Think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. For you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Christ in God. For you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Christ in God. Now, what's important also to look on here is the context. A verse in itself can be taken out of context and be used to say a lot of things that probably wouldn't be where to be applied. But let's look at the rest of this chapter.
Colossians chapter 3. Living the new life. Since you have been raised to new life with Christ, set your sights on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. For you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Christ in God. And when Christ, who is your life, is revealed to the whole world, you will share in all his glory. So put to death the sinful, earthly things lurking within you. Have nothing to do with sexual morality, impurity, lust, and evil desires. Don't be greedy, for a greedy person is an idolater, worshiping the things of this world. Because of these sins, the anger of God is coming. You used to do these things when your life was still part of this world. But now is the time to get rid of anger, rage, malicious behavior, slander, and dirty language. Don't lie to each other, for you have stripped off your old sinful nature and all its wicked deeds. Put on your new nature and be renewed as you learn to know your Creator and become like him.
And so the big idea that this is trying to get across here is identity. C.S. Lewis once quoted, "We are what we believe we are." And in that same idea is that we live out who we see ourselves as. The student in the classroom who believes that they're the naughty kid generally acts out as the naughty kid because they've seen their identity as that. The kid who's the good student usually pushes themselves harder because they see themselves as a good student, and so they work to fulfill that identity. We as Christians also are called to live out our identity. We need to see ourselves as part of God's family. Hey, just want to give a big shout out to Josh Garrels and his music. You can find a sampler on noisetrade.com. Also, check out Streetlights Bible. They have their music on Spotify, as well as you can find a lot of their songs on YouTube. And you can find their links below in the description. Hey, please subscribe and be waiting for more.